My name's Duddy, Settle Builds and stuff. Today we're going to be talking about Bakris and a sword. Mask of Bakris, absolute carnage guys, honestly. So Mask of Bakris, we're going to get stasis and arc weapon boost every time we use our dodge. We're going to be pairing it with Argent blade and an arc or stasis sword, and this is the way forward with Bakris builds for this season. So much damage. We're going to get 43% damage increase on our swords, plus other perks like surrounded on top of that. So much control, so much ad clearance, and you can absolutely smash champions to bits. So strong. Stay with me, I'm going to break it all down. So, Mask of Bakris, while you have a stasis super equipped, your dodge becomes a longer range, faster moving shift that partially cloaks you during use. It's a little bit like a blink. After shifting, your stasis and arc weapons deal increased damage for a short time, 25% damage increase. So, at the moment, I've got a stasis primary on and an arc secondary. So, you'll see I've dodged there. I've got my stasis weapon boost times 4, 25%. Switch to my arc weapon, and it also works for your arc weapons as well. So 25% for your stasis weapons, 25% for your arc weapons when you use your dodge. And you'll see that light shift. This is the problem with Bakris a little bit. You cannot use your dodge, but we've got a way to fix that, so stay with me. You can't use your dodge on that cooldown. But when you pair it with Winter's Shroud aspect, dodging slows nearby targets, which is excellent for overloads. But slowing targets briefly increases your class ability regeneration. So every time you slow something, you're going to get increased class ability regeneration. I've paired that with Stylish Executioner. It's just too good. All the slowing effects are going to be infinite invisibility. But look at this increased class ability regen from the Winter Shroud. Just look at my class ability here. All I'm doing is freezing something, and you're getting massive chunks of class ability. Therefore, we're going to be able to use our Mask of Bakris dodge a lot more often than what we did in other seasons. This is just absolutely fantastic. Really good change to Winter's Shroud. And like I said, with Winter's Shroud, it actually slows as well, which is really good for overload champions and some other things in the game as well. So a quick breakdown, I've used my dodge there, got my arc and stasis weapon boost, 25%, does not stack with surges, don't forget. Waiting for my cooldown, I'm just going to throw my Dustfield Grenade, or your Winter's Shroud, or your super, and you just get massive chunks of class ability back. Now, weapons, Lost Signal is really good. This is a stasis area denial frame. It does damage over time. I've got auto-loading holster on there, and I also put Demolitionist on there as well for grenade cooldowns. There's other perks you can put on there, like Unrelenting, things like that, but it's got the origin trait on there, the radiolary transposer. Rapid final blows cause targets to explode into a pool of radiolarian fluid. Stasis primary paired up with an arc heavy or a stasis heavy, something like summum bonum with surrounded. This is just a crazy sword. You've also got things like ergo sum, again an arc sword. The summum bonum was also stasis, and then we're going to go with omen as well with surrounded, which is also stasis sword. So the way I like to do this is I put my grenade launcher in there, my Lost Signal. Get that extra damage when you dodge, 25% on your stasis, and then get in there with your arc sword. So you're doing damage with your Lost Signal, damage with your sword. All different types of damage scenarios going on, all different types of outputs, sorry. So that's basically the little loop. We're going to go into it a lot more because there's a lot more to show you how to get some massive damage. Now, summum bonum with surrounded is just a little sword that I want to show you an example of. I don't actually proc my surrounding on this for numbers, but you'll see on my first little swipe I've got nothing going on, 21,409. What I'm going to do is add Argent blade on there. Whenever you've got an armor charge, use your sword, you get a 15% damage increase. 15% damage increase is pretty nice on swords. It's okay. You'll see this little clip here, 24,620 from 21,000, that's 15%. But what I'm going to do now is add the Mask of Bakris light shift in there, and it's going to go up to 30k. So we've got Argent blade going on, and we've also got Mask of Bakris going on. Now the damage increase with that is pretty strong. It's a 43% damage increase, almost 44%. So it's absolutely fantastic. And don't forget, I haven't got surrounded procs on there neither. So this is where the fun really starts on this build, and things start to really take off, because you've got everything you've seen in this clip. I'm going to have my armor charge, I'm going to have my slowing effects, and I'm also going to use my Mask of Bakris dodge. I'm going to proc my surrounded. I've got Argent blade going on, the Mask of Bakris dodge, and surrounded, and champs just get absolutely destroyed. All of the slowing effects just add to the build as well from your Silencer Squall Super or your Dustfield Grenade, and you can literally control big spawns with your Dustfield Grenade and your Silencer Squall Super. And not to mention the actual Winter Shroud. I know I mentioned it earlier on, when you dodge it just instantly stuns Overlord champions, so it's really good, and you can see just absolutely crazy. Now the summum bonum sword, I call it the summum boner, that's what I call it. We're just going to call it the boner sword from now on. That is pretty good. I do find it pretty inconsistent if I'm honest, but I've got a really good sword that's an excellent replacement, if not better. I do find it a bit whiffy, you sometimes whiff a little bit, but when it does actually connect properly, it just absolutely wrecks. But like I said, I've got another sword where you don't even have to raid for, and in fact it's actually probably better in my opinion. But just a few clips there, just so it's showing you that instant stun with that overload, getting that damage. And I've always got an armor charge for my Argent blade. Your Prismatic is just an added bonus to this. Again, that will proc your slowing effects and everything like that as well. Really strong with your Prismatic. Now the other sword I actually prefer is this one, Ill Omen with Surrounded. This is also a stasis sword. It's got the radio layer transposer on there. Creeping Chill, that with the lost signal. Stasis weapon final blows against slowed or frozen combatants. Releases a burst that slows. Now this is just so strong, guys. Look at the state of that champion's health. It took off half his health with one sort of heavy attack. It's so good. It was more than half. Just look how much it gets deleted. Got that surrounded going. You got your Argent blade, and on top of that, you got your Bakris 25% extra damage. And again, just to sort of show you how sort of good it is for like slowing down the whole situation. You can control rooms, and just look, double overload champion kill. Very easy, very fast. So good. Things like Trespasser in your secondary slot, Risk Runner, things like that are all solid options. Centrifugal, Symmetry, things like that. Or you could even run Ergo Sum. But just for a bit of advice, I really recommend you run Lost Signal as your primary, and then a heavy sword, that is Arc or Stasis, and then a primary ammo secondary. I think that's the way forward. I definitely think you should focus on swords with this. It's the strongest buffs you can get at the moment. 43% with your Argent blade and the Bakris. What I'm going to do now is just go over my fragments and aspects a little bit, because these really buff the build out. Like I said, the aspects we've already touched on a little bit, but with Winter's Shroud, dodging slows nearby targets, increased class ability when you freeze enemies. Stylish Executioner is just too good. All the freezing and slowing effects are just going to give you infinite invisibility. They're two really good aspects. Dustfield Grenade for your slowing ability. This is excellent against overloads as well, and just slowing things down. And then obviously you've got your Withering Blade, which is also excellent for overload champions. Again, just proccing that Winter's Shroud. Now fragments, I thought about these quite a lot. Facet of Balance is really good. Rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy, and rapidly defeating targets with darkness grants grenade energy. That's really good with Lost Signal. Facet of Hope, while you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly. More class ability regen when you've got Radiant going. Facet of Solitude, landing rapid precision hits, severs them. And then you've got Facet of Dawn, powered melee hits against targets make you radiant. You've always got Withering Blades at hand, so you can be pretty much infinitely radiant. And then Facet of Protection, just to add to the survivability. Now Reaper is a really good one. Shortly after using your class ability, you get an orb with a weapon kill, and then double bomber for my grenade cooldowns. I like to create a lot of orbs on this build, so I've got a constant stack of Argent blade. This is why I like to run the Reaper and the two bombers. Grenade cooldown and orbs, and then on top of that I'm running Harmonic Siphon, Rapid Stasis, Final Blows, create an orb of power, and then Arc Siphon, Rapid Arc, Final Blows, create orbs of power. So you're always going to have a stack for your Argent blade on your sword, and then a special or a heavy ammo finder, whatever you want to run. Now these two are absolutely perfect for your Winter's Shroud aspect as well, because every time you slow something you're going to get class ability regen, but with your bolstering detonation grants class ability when you cause damage with a grenade. This stacks with the Winter's Shroud intrinsic perk, really strong. And then Font of Vigor to give myself a plus 50 strength, so I can keep them Withering Blades at hand whenever I need them. But that's the full video. I'll leave a build card from my friend over on Twitter, Mr. Slayer God, and I'll also leave a dim link for the video description in the video description. I hope you found this helpful. Really strong. I was really surprised at how good this felt in this week's GM and a few lost sectors. Absolute deletion. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.